Miss Marissa Edwards Thomas, happy birthday to you. God's richest blessings. Today is your special day. We hope that you are safe today. You give thanks to God the Almighty for preserving your life thus far, and that everything that you plan going forward, you do it with the Lord in mind, and all success to you in this life.
We say happy birthday to Karen Alphonse. Karen Alphonse is also celebrating a birthday today, and so we say happy birthday to you, and we do hope that you have an amazing birthday today. Even as you enter into the weekend, we pray God's blessings upon your life, and that you do get to enjoy the special time with family, friends, and loved ones. God's blessings to you. Happy birthday, Karen Alphonse.
And finally, we say happy birthday to Mr. Anthony Parks. Yes, Mr. Anthony Parks, this birthday greeting is coming from your wife and family, and they're wishing you the best today. They cherish you, they love you very much, and they appreciate you in their lives. And they're saying happy birthday, God's richest blessings to you, sir. And we know that you're going to have a good time today because your family already sent you birthday shout outs, and we know that they have something special planned for you today. We could be sure of it. Happy birthday to you, sir.
All right, and even if we don't have your photographs, we still join in the celebration with you. You know, we do love a good celebration here at Tobago Updates Television. But we remind you, of course, to put God first, because He's the sole reason why there's even anything to celebrate. And while we celebrate this morning, we want to say congratulations to Princess Mia Bipat. Princess Mia Bipat, she placed second in the Children of Mastana, the Mastana Baha competition that took place in Trinidad a couple of weeks ago. We had Mia on the show with us as well before she headed to Trinidad, and we are proud to say the only contestant from Tobago placing second in the Children of Mastana Baha competition. Congratulations to you, Mia Bipat. All right, so it's Friday, and of course, you know, in studio we keep things a little light. So Akinlabi, who are we having conversations with today?
Okay, so this morning we're having conversations with Edmund Joseph, who is the founder of Twin Towers Trading Academy, and he's coming on to talk about his business, Twin Towers Trading Academy. And then up next, you know, on Fridays we usually have sports, so we're going to have Marcus Daniel coming in for the sports segment to talk about the Roxborough Police Youth Club night football and the Trinidad and Tobago under-17 cricket team.
That's right, that's right. So viewers, of course, we do hope that you could stay with us throughout the entire program. And remember, you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel at Tobago Updates. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about our discussions here in studio. And we'd also like to know what kind of topics you want us to talk about. Yes, it's all about you. It's all about your viewership and your experience with us here on the morning show at Tobago Updates Television. But before we get into all of those conversations, we have to head for a break. And as we do, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning by speaking with Mr. Edmund Joseph, and he is the founder of Twin Towers Trading Company. And this morning we're going to be talking a little bit about trading. I know you've heard a lot about it, in social spaces, in the atmosphere out there, but this morning we're going to get some more information on the successes of trading. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course, a pleasure having you in studio. And we're going to get straight into the conversation this morning.
Yes.
In recent years, we've been hearing a lot about trading. On different platforms, we're hearing a lot of different terms in terms of trading and people wanting to get on, trying to learn how to do it. I mean, I know sometimes it takes a while, but some people kind of they're sort of apprehensive because the understanding isn't there. So before we get into the Trading Academy, let's talk about the process of trading.
Okay. Well, one of the things about trading Forex is that it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. A lot of people view Forex trading as, oh, I want to get in, and I'll make $1 million, and I'll get out, I'll buy a Lamborghini or a Bentley. It is not. It is actually a skill that you have to learn. You have to learn it over time. And one of the key things about trading Forex is that you have to be disciplined. You have to set your rules, where you're going to get into the market, where you're going to come out of the market. And a lot of times people, because of the anticipation of gain, or I could make so much, they forget the rules that they put in place when they're going to get in and when they're going to come out. They forget those rules, and the market is not merciful to anyone who does not follow their rules. And as I say, a lot of people have been trading. I know a few of them. My trading journey has started like 3 to 4 years ago when I got into it. Just like everyone else, I heard about trading, and it's like, yeah, boy, what, you could make money with this thing, boy? I say, all right, cool. But the first approach I had, because I'm a teacher, I used to teach at Mason Hall, I said, okay, I want to get in touch with someone who has walked this road before, who have lost and would have gained. So I got into touch with a few people who would have guided me and say, all right, this is how to understand the market. Now, the thing about the market is that you're not just knowing when to buy and sell. You have to actually study economic news. You have to know what President Trump is doing. You have to know, all right, about different commodities, like what is oil doing? What is gold doing? You have to understand these things first before you even try to buy or sell. So that is some of the fundamental information you need to get first before you even think about trying to trade.
So you can't get in, as you said, get in, make your investments, and next week, you come out.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Money.
No,
it's not
no,
like that at all.
no. I mean, one of the things that is some of the misconceptions people have. They only look at the money. But because it's an actual skill, you have to be educated, you have to be disciplined, you have to be trained. So and the thing about money, a lot of people want to get it quick. But trading is a thing where you have to get it. You have to take your time, make your entries, and one thing I want to advise anyone, don't overtrade. So in a single day, you should be doing at least 1 or 2 trades. If you're doing 20 or 30, you're doing something wrong, or you're playing greedy.
And it wouldn't be easy to manage, I assume, because if you're talking about learning the markets, learning what the commodities are doing, and you have 20 trades in, I mean, you have to monitor all of these trades.
Definitely,
and I want to talk
yes.
about that as well, because I know it comes with a sacrifice, not just a financial sacrifice, but how do you monitor what the market is doing? I mean, because the markets are not, it doesn't operate on our 24 hours. If you know what I'm saying. It doesn't operate on our 9 to 5. Our waking hours is what it should be.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
All right. Now, one of the nice things about trading on the Forex market is that it's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. So you have the weekends off. So when I say 24 hours, when you are sleeping at 1 o'clock, the market is open. And the reason for that is that the Forex market is not just in Trinidad. The Forex market is there's the main financial center is in New York, there's one in London, there's one in Sydney, and there's one in Tokyo. And the thing about these markets, the time zone difference is major. So you talk about the 9 to 5. So when you are now closing your job at 4 o'clock, Sydney market just opened, right? And at 9 o'clock in the night, Tokyo just opened. And 2 o'clock in the morning, London market just opened. So these are some of the things. And the benefit of that is you will have to structure your time and knowing when you want to trade. So that is one of the key things about trading. You can choose the time. So let's say you're busy 9 to 4 and you can't even look at the markets or assess anything. When you come home, you can take an hour, you can open your charts, you look at it, and one of the strategies I want to show people is how do you put in 1 trade a day. Now, when I say 1 trade, you're putting it at they'll say, so it's around 7 o'clock this morning, you put in 1 trade in the morning, and by the end of the day, you close it.
Okay.
So there is not like you're going to put in a lot of trades and you have to try and monitor. No, you put in 1 trade, and the nice thing, you have your take profit. Take profit as in how much money you want to make in this trade, and you must have your stop loss, how much money you want to lose or you're willing to lose. And the thing about it is that you don't want to trade in a single trade your whole account. So let's say you have a $1,000 account, or let's say even a $100 account. You don't want to risk $100 on your $100 account in that single day. You want to risk as little as 10 cents. Because if the market moves 100 points in that day, you just made $10. But for you to actually make that, you have to know, all right, you have to assess where is everybody getting in on the market. You don't want to get in because your $10 entry or 10 cent entry is not going to be moving the market. You have to know where the market or where the financial, you have to understand where they are going to carry the market that day, so you can get in where they get in and get out where they're getting out.
I'm sitting listening here and my mind is going in all different directions because it sounds so, to the average person, so overwhelming.
Yes.
But you said you've been in it for at least 3 to 4 years, and of course it sounds as if you have a handle on it.
Yes.
So let's talk now about the academy in terms of training people to trade as you recommend. Like how do you start? What do you need to start? How do you get involved in it and get to the point where you're comfortable enough to put in your trade and leave it, walk away, and come back this afternoon and say, right, it's time for me to close off.
All right. Now, way back then, if you actually wanted to trade on Forex, you would have had to have $100,000 or maybe $1 million to actually get into a broker for them to take you serious. And you would have to then maintain a certain amount. No, so that was like 50 years ago. Now they have made it simple enough that you can have an app on your phone where you actually monitor the charts and you can monitor your money. So there are apps you're going to download, and the way how the academy is structured, you are trading. You get 100,000 K to practice with. Now, one of the things about practicing, practice makes perfect. So once you practice with it, now some people, when they say, all right, I get $100,000, so hey, I can do what I want, I can put in big. It's like, no, you have to discipline yourself, not because hey, this is 100,000 for it, so gives you a time frame for you to practice with. You put in your small lots and you're building and you're growing. And as you, because one of the key things is, it's not about the markets, it's not about the strategy, it is about you following your rules. Because I know a lot of people, they don't want to lose money and you know they want to get money but they don't want to lose it. But the thing about it is, a lot of people, whatever financial situation they are in right now, if they do an honest assessment of it, they'll realize, yeah, I wasn't disciplined. I splurged this weekend, spent $1,000. I didn't plan to spend that, but I spent $1,000. And the thing about that, if you take that same mentality to the market is not merciful. It will take your money. But if you're disciplined, you say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. This is how we're going to get in. For sure. And it's a systematic approach. We have one of the strategies I am going to be showing you is how do you compound. How do you compound? So if you, I think I was talking earlier, if you do one trade, there are 20 trading days for the month, right? So it's 5 days a week, 20 trading days, and you do one trade a day. That's 20 trades for the month. Now, if you make 15 out of those trades at a 2-to-1 ratio, that means you would have made $30. So let's say it was $1, you might have made $30 and you would have lost $5. And if you continue with that ratio month after month, your financial freedom is assured.
It's just that it's going to take some time. So
I want to emphasize that it's not a get rich quick thing. You have to learn it. You have to be disciplined. And I know there are a lot of people who are listening who know people who would have made money and say, boy, you see that trading thing? Boy, I gotta lose money, boy. Me, I done with that. Yes. But when you ask them, a simple thing, what was your trading plan? What were the things confirmations you're looking to enter the market? There might be questions like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I just get in, I get out.
Because I hear somebody say trading.
I hear somebody say, you know? So what is your trading plan, right? What is the structure you had to get in?
So you are going to be guiding your clients or students, as we call it, through the processes.
Through the process.
Coming up with a plan for them.
How you're going
to do it, how you're going to, the practice sessions and all of these things. You're going to talk them through this. And when is this training, your tongue twister there, when is that starting?
Right, so the projected time for start of the class is October 6th, and it's going to be 16 sessions. So over that 16 sessions, now I gauge it at 16 sessions because some people might get the strategies quickly, but you see the discipline to get in and to do it consistently, that might take some time. Some people might actually take the whole 16 sessions to actually understand, all right, what is that candle? Where is the close? Where is the open of the candle? You know, what is that trend? How do I know when that trend is ended so I can know how to get out the market? So different people have different learning curves. So I'm going to give you, so it's 2 days a week for 16 sessions, right? And I believe, going through the process, I mean, one of the things I want to start off with is those people who are successful at trading, they think like a wealthy person. If you think like a pauper, you're going to continue being a pauper. Why? Because you're going to for short games. You're going to cheat. You're going to try to do your shortcuts. But somebody who's wealthy, who understands what it means to have money, they're going to say, no, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to understand first, because most wealthy people, the first thing they invest in is education. Because once they educate themselves, that is information for the rest of their life. No one can take away your trading knowledge from you when you get it. So even if when you started, you may have not known, maybe you didn't get it at the end of the 16 sessions, because it's just a thing. The markets are there every day in, day out. They're not going away at all. Oh, and one of the things I forgot to say, the Forex market is a $7 trillion market. So one of the things about trading is a skill, right? So with any skill, whether it's welding or masonry or electrical, you have a salary cap on what you could earn a day. So as a mason, your maximum you can make in a day, it might be $500 or $400. Even if you are expert 20 years mason, you could only have a max salary or earning for that day. However, in trading, when you become an expert, there's no salary cap per day.
Right.
But you have to be disciplined. You have to stick to your rules. And I'm reiterating these things because if you do not stick to your rules, the markets don't care about you. If you don't stick to your rules, you will lose. So most of the people that have been in trading and have that negative experience, if you ask them what was the things that would have caused you to lose, they were no trading plan, no risk management. So they just get in with any amount, get in, get out. They try to get it quickly. And the other thing is the emotional psychology, which is one of the modules in the class. You see, when we're in school, we normally taught of how to win, but we're never really taught how to lose. And when I say lose, when I hear the word lose, it's like, oh, I don't want to lose. But when you lose, you're not just losing. And most people think when you lose, you're a loser. That is not the case. When you lose, you sit down and you analyze, okay, why did I lose here?
So it's like you're learning.
You're learning. Okay, I did this. Okay, the market went here. Oh, so that is why. There's a reason I didn't put my stop loss, or I didn't put my stop loss far enough. I risked too much on the trade. So those are the things where you learn, so that the next time when you enter a trade, I now have information from a loss that I did last week to now guide me in this week.
Right, so we're starting on October 6th. How do persons register, and is there a registration fee attached?
Right now, I have not set up like all the social media accounts. So if you want, you can go to my page, my Facebook page, Edmund Joseph, and you'll see the flyer there, and there's a link for how to sign up, right?
So they'll see this flyer here.
Yeah,
they'll see
this flyer, right? And my plan, so during this month, I'm going to put up that same flyer around in different places, and all you have to do is scan the QR code that you see in it, and it will take you to the application process where you're going to sign up. Now, the form is about 30-something questions, because the reason why I want to know, are you trying to get rich, or are you trying to learn a skill?
And do you have the discipline to complete 30 questions?
Because trading is not for everyone. So going through that process, when you sign up, I'll go through your list of name, I'll give you a call, find out certain information about you, and then coming down closer to the time, I'll call and let those people know who got through to start the class.
So it's not everybody who applies.
No, not everybody who applies you're going to get in.
So there's an assessment process.
Yeah, there's going to be an assessment process. Yes, and the class size is only 10. Because I know discipline is not something, some people might think they are, but if you do a honest assessment of your life, you realize, I could be more disciplined.
That's right.
And one of the things about trading is that it's not just in the markets, the skill is going to be applied. It's also going to be applied to your life. So you are going to be more disciplined when it comes to when you receive your salary and you put on your budget, and at the end of the month you realize, no, I need to stick to my budget because I want to be able to get somewhere. I want to achieve my goals. I want to achieve financial freedom. So I can't be splurging. I can't be going to the supermarket, have a list, and get more than what is on the list.
That's right.
You're going to have to be disciplined and stick to your rules.
It's very, very enlightening conversation this morning, and I must say thank you so much for coming this morning and, kind of shedding some light and dispelling some myths about trading.
Definitely,
and bringing that level of understanding to us and our viewers this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in trading and you think you have the discipline, check out Mr. Edmund Joseph's page on Facebook, and you'll be able to get the information there. Apply and see if you get through. Remember, there's only room for 10 persons, 10 disciplined persons. I don't think I'll be on that list this time around, but I do wish you the very best, and I hope
Thank you
that
very much.
people are able to learn and grasp the concepts, and as you mentioned, not just for trading, but for their lives as well.
Thank you. Same
All right,
as well.
ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations. And when we come back, Mr. Cricket Marcus Daniel will be in studio to have conversations with our guests. So in the meantime, we're asking you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back. Tobago Updates Television recognizes women in business. Every Thursday morning on The Morning Show, we engage with women-owned and operated businesses from right here in Tobago. We'll discover these women, their businesses, what inspired their business, their highs and their lows, and their encouragement to you. Join me, your host, Adana Kambi, this and every Thursday on The Morning Show from 7:40 a.m. as we celebrate and encourage women in business.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Take your shot with Junior K.
Always with the introductions, as you see. And of course, we're on television. Big up to my boy Saki. We just complete. I saw that. So we didn't have a choice. We had to call it.
Good.
So, Carnival.
I say, warn them. Hey, I get to know.
Baba boy, don't run. Me God, we are the last man. Alright, you got a drink, bro? Drinking liars.
Enjoy Take Your Shot on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share.
The event of this century is here. AMPLIA. 100 years of excellence to honor the past and ignite the future. Saturday, September 30th at the Magdalena. The Centennial Gala, hosted by Bishop's High School Tobago. An all-inclusive evening of entertainment, culinary delights, and timeless vibes. And at midnight, raise your glass as we welcome the next 100 years. Limited early bird tickets, $750. Secure yours at islandetickets.com. An all-white affair. One night, one century, one legacy.
Skibidi bang bang. Yours truly be representing for Neon, a tribal affair by Highlighter Entertainment. We are here.
Tobago, are you ready? Highlighter Entertainment's Neon, a Tribal Affair. Costume sales are live. Register now at highlighterentertainment.com. This is Carnival meets culture. Rhythm meets rebellion. Neon is calling. And your moment is now. Light up the night.
I jamming on the pavement with Neon.
Put a smile on your face to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Wait.
How is preparation coming along?
Well, this is our first full session, only one so far, but yeah, very excited about it.
I'm bringing 120 youths from La Hopita to watch you all play. Yeah. You all ready for Friday? Yeah, you all quite confident we're going to win that game? Very good, very good. I'll be going up in the stands and looking at you all practice in the interim. So I want to wish you all the best. Your Prime Minister is backing you all up, and as the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs, I'm full 100 behind the team. We have all confidence that you are going to make it to this World Cup. So we're giving you all our support. Country is backing you all. But remember, this first game, all your home games will be very crucial. I'm sure the coach will be telling you all that. The home games are very crucial.
When you tackle, score any goal. Need the speed for that. Need the concentration for that.
Welcome back. It's Fantastic Friday in Trinidad and Tobago. You know why it's Fantastic Friday? Because Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, they'll be playing their first World Cup qualifying, the final round of World Cup qualifying. It starts today in Hasty Crawford. Well, Port of Spain to be exact, by the Hasty Crawford Stadium. But guys, thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. It's Friday, 5th September. And I'm still here with Akinlabi. Akinlabi is still here with me. And of course, Akinlabi, he likes sport as well. So we're going to talk about the Soccer Warriors and the chances this evening at the Hasty Crawford Stadium. We're going to talk about Dwayne Bravo, big Dwayne Bravo, now the ambassador for sport in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, a number of other things we can discuss as we, wind down this Friday morning on Tobago Updates Television. Akinlabi, are you excited about the match this afternoon?
Well, to tell you the truth, the excitement has been building over the past couple of months. Honestly, earlier in the year, I wasn't positive about the Soccer Warriors at the time. But seeing that they are this close to qualifying, the hope started kicking in, and you started to feel like, we can actually do this. I know we start off against, is it
Curaçao, yes.
Yeah, but I know we also have Jamaica in our group, and that is a tough mountain to climb. I know it's only the first place qualifying for the World Cup.
So directly, you have 3 groups in the final round, and then only the top team will go straight to the World Cup, and they will join the USA, Canada, and Mexico out of the CONCACAF zone. And then the 2 best second place teams,
they go to a playoff.
Well, let's call it, I think it's the intercontinental playoffs. But I mean, you don't want to leave it so late, because you're not sure who you're going to beat.
The South America is very competitive.
Take care of business home here.
Take it now.
Yes,
because
take it
you
now.
don't know who you end up playing. You end up playing Uruguay.
Yes, you never know. You never know. So I mean, and I've seen it in the media, I've seen it from the experts. When you have your home games, try to win your home games. Take care of business at home. And obviously, we will need a 12th man as well.
Yes.
I have my jersey on. I'm hoping that they can send the private jet for me to get down there, because I know the situation with the air bridge and sea bridge these days. But I am hoping to be among the supporters there, cheering on the team, because we need that support. We need that energy. And if you have played sport before, you know what the crowd gives.
Give you a burst of energy, a drive. And the exciting thing about this match as well, they're introducing the VAR.
Yes, boy. And this is the money wrong, so they can't make mistakes, They can't make mistakes whatsoever at all.
Stakes very high.
Very, very high. I mean, the World Cup is next year. I mean, what I like as well, I like the build-up from the TTFA and the marketing and promotion team. They have marketed the final round well. When I say marketed well, they would have given us the opportunity to buy merchandise as well. Before, where can I get a Trinidad and Tobago jersey from? Now we have a whole set to pick from. I particularly like this black one. I mean, it says a lot about us. Yes, we like the red, white, and black. I think they will be playing with the red, white, and black one this afternoon or this evening, and then this will be probably the away kits. But this will be like about small money, about 350, 350 small money, But I got it through Fan Zone. I think they are the only distributors in Trinidad and Tobago. So I got it there, and then I saw on the TTFA's media that once you get to the game this evening, you can buy I mean, you can go be a back and buy a jersey there and get inside. But I like the fact that they would have promoted the match. Normally it's just, well, a flyer and that's it. But they showed exactly where you can enter, the different players that we have, the positions that they're going to be playing, the importance of the match, and starting well at home before we get to Jamaica.
I think as he's talking about the marketing, they did a really good job at reigniting fans' imagination and the excitement.
That's it.
You know, because I know fans were just we were so dejected about Trinidad and Tobago football, the state of football in Trinidad and Tobago, where we are at, and we magically end up in the final rounds, and we have a real shot at qualifying for the World Cup, and they really started to get fans interested, get people the passion back for the national team.
I mean, Akinlabi, if we can't do it now, I don't think there will be another opportunity for us.
This is the best
fact
time.
that the 3 best teams
are out.
In CONCACAF, they're already qualified. This is our best opportunity. I want to call it 5 bites at the cherry, because obviously the top 2, you get you the top. Then if you can get you there, you can go down the road and try to get in the
playoff.
Top, at least come second and try to get in down there again. So, but I believe in playing for WSC. We have Curacao, we have Jamaica, and we have Bermuda in front of us. And I believe strongly, once we play it to the best of our abilities, we can get past these 3 teams and top the team and get straight to the World Cup, and obviously being in the USA or whether in Mexico or Canada next year. And what I like as well, I like the positive vibes from the coach in Dwight Tog. I think he would have brought a lot of energy. You know, it's good to have someone of that stature in your dressing room that can demand the respect from all the players. Sometimes, if it is that you can't get a dressing room to play for you, you have no team whatsoever. And just hearing the vibes and the comments from all the players, you know, the words that they would have actually affirmed to Dwight York says a lot about his control of the dressing room, and you know, mutual respect, because there are some senior players like Molino and them guys, you know, rude boys. I like to call them boat ride. You know, any opportunity, go to a boat ride.
They have some serious discipline problems.
But York would have mentioned, when it comes to representing Trinidad and Tobago, no leeway there for indiscipline whatsoever. And just touching on that, Akinlabi, I think in great news, I think Cabinet announced yesterday to the Sport Minister, Mr. Philip Watts. Yes, he mentioned yesterday that Cabinet approved, right, to go to Parliament to discuss the Citizenship Amendment Bill, which means, because now we have a situation where if you are desirous of being a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, you have to at least have a parent living in Trinidad, or who's a resident of Trinidad and Tobago. Other countries would have gone beyond just a parent. They have had grandparents, some kind of pumpkin vine thing, and represent them. Now we have gone that direction, giving the Trinidad and Tobago a wider pool, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, a wider pool of which to select from.
And you saw other Caribbean countries started doing that. Jamaica, Suriname, you know, they started down that road a few years ago, and Trinidad and Tobago is now catching up. But it really gives us a chance to really draw people in. But one of the things that, even though it's a good initiative, one of the things that we really need to work towards fixing is the administration of football in Trinidad and Tobago.
You touch on a sport, not just football, you know, because Mr. Trim, Theophilus Trim, is always mentioned, he's always tell me, Marcus, you have to participate in your own rescue. And enthusiasm is not expertise. So a lot of them are enthused about sport, but they don't have the expertise to really administrate sport. So most people you see now heading into the sporting organization in Trinidad and Tobago,
they don't have the skill set.
They don't have the skill set. And then when you offer them the skill set, they don't show up. Because it's like, I'm in cricket, I play cricket, and I'm interested and I love cricket, and I want to give back to cricket. Let me go and run for president. But you have any managerial skills? Can you manage a staff? Can you administrate the sport? Can you manage funds? All these different things that we have happening in Trinidad and Tobago, we have persons offering themselves for office, which is good to give back, but you're not going and trying to better your managerial skills or to try to run the sport as how it should be run. You know, and that is why we have a lot of nonsense happening with sport in Trinidad and Tobago.
I was going to say something controversial, but I don't know if I should say it, because I was going to say, well, you know what I will say.
No, when we discuss the sport.
I think it showed up itself, that issue showed up itself mostly in Trinidad and Tobago, in football and track and field.
And track and field. Look, let's talk sport, because there's a situation currently with track and field in Tobago with the TSC, that's the Tobago Athletic Committee, and they can't really access funding through the TAC because there's a standoff now with the president and other members of the TAC.
Right.
So it's not functional because they don't have a quorum. Why is that? You understand? So we have a situation where managing sport in Trinidad and Tobago is concerned. A lot of egos involved and persons who doesn't have the requisite knowledge about managing, skill set about managing sport, getting involved in the managerial of sport, and it's to the detriment of the athletes because we have the talent, but in terms of administrating the sport, we have a situation. I mean, I'm really hoping that Kieran Edwards, who's the current president of the TTFA, he has started well for me. I think I like the direction in which they are going. We had some situations where some of our junior teams were not able to compete because of financial situations and not booking flights in time. And then we had a situation where, like the last day we got through the flights, I think one of our junior teams, and they actually got there the day of the competition. And those things aren't good because I'm sure Akinlabi, FIFA has a schedule, and when we have these junior and international
and that's
tournaments.
The thing is highly structured.
It's structured, so
highly structured.
So and you have to prepare. You have to prepare. You put your coaches in place. You put your managers in place, and you ensure that before time, not 2 weeks before you start a practice, or you put together a team to practice. That ain't making sense.
Yeah.
And sport is a way out. And not because we are not oil and gas anymore, and not because we are deemed a wealthy nation that we think that there's a fallback, but it have a lot of money to be made participating in sport. So let's see what happens with this citizenship amendment bill. I'm looking forward to it. I know that it's something that would have been before the TTFA and they'd have discussed it with government ministers before to try to get it not just for football but for sport in general. If it is that we can get players on wall in Africa, wherever they can get in.
I remember about it had to be close to 20 years ago. There was when the Pro League was at its height, and there were a number of Brazilians that came to
double
play.
Connection, they play with double connection. Yes.
And some of them wanted to play for Trinidad and Tobago, and they just simply couldn't.
So I'm happy that that we have finally seen the light, and I know for a fact that a lot of parents who have players, I guess the grandparents' lineage outside, especially in UK or even in the United States, who may have not broken into the teams that they are living, the country that they are residing in now, they'll want to come back and play.
I always think about, I mean, it's a stretch, but I always think about Jadon Sancho.
Sancho. You remember I remember Chris Birchall.
Yes.
I mean, Jack when I found him the last World Cup. You understand? I really am excited about it. I'm not discounting the local players. It gives them the opportunity to raise their game as well. And when you have players living abroad, they are exposed to, I want to quote unquote a higher level of football.
I mean, it is what it is.
And they play a higher level as well. And to come and bring that level of experience to our national team, I mean, we could play 10 players who are grandparents from Trinidad and Tobago. The idea is to qualify for a World Cup and get your team to the World Cup and your national anthem played at a World Cup. What great exposure.
It does work for us. It could work for us. It could benefit us. But it also, Marcus, the administration of sports is the key. Because you see a situation in Jamaica. They bring in all these players, Mikel Antonio, all these players, all these foreign players, and the team is still struggling.
At the end of the day, right, when I bring them in, them fellas who cheering in the stands, they're studying where they come from, they're representing Jamaica.
Yes, they're representing
Jamaica. But they want
Jamaica.
to ensure that they are happy and they are comfortable
and I think
representing.
That's the problem.
And you want to feel that you're appreciated, because most players don't want to come back and play for the country now, because sometimes when they come back and they got a broken foot, who cover the insurance? Who cover it and all them different things.
This guy, what's his name? He was playing for Aston Villa from Jamaica.
Oh yes. But he recovered.
He had an impasse with the Jamaica Football Association for that same reason, that they weren't covering certain commitments.
Exactly.
And players were exposed. They come and play for national duty. They're injured. Taking care of their medical costs. Taking care of their flights, their accommodation. And
you wouldn't give 100%.
They would never give 100%.
And then some will probably
they would never come.
Exactly.
They would just come and they would say, "Well, I can't come. I have club duties or something like that."
Yep.
And it's really actually they just don't want to take the risk.
So as you rightfully mentioned, it comes back to the administration.
It always comes back to the administration of the sport.
Yeah. Well, okay, now we want to take a short break. We have a short interview with Mr. Hazel out of the Roxborough Police Club. They're having their football finals tonight. It's always a spectacle up there when it comes to that small goal football tournament. We're going to chat with Mr. Hazel right after the break. But viewers, don't forget to share the live, share the live.
Rise and shine, Tobago. The breakfast vibes you've been waiting for is here.
When you rum, tell you you's a big dancer.
It's time for Sun Up Tobago, the ultimate breakfast inclusive pool party that kicks off your carnival in style.
We come to take shots. She come to take shots.
Join us on Thursday, October 23rd from 6 a.m. to 12 noon at Scarborough House, 138 Milford Road. Music pumping, breakfast sizzling, coolers flowing, and vibes unmatched. This is where sun, sea, soca, and celebration collides. Get your early bird tickets now at Pablo Supermarkets, Barcode, Lost Restaurant and Launch, Signature Cuts, IslandEtickets.com, and committee members. Don't miss the event where Tobago Carnival truly begins. Sun Up Tobago. Come for the breakfast, stay for the vibe.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back to this fantastic Friday in beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. We're talking sports, and we're still in football. Joining us online is none other than Mr. Collis Hazel. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening to you live and direct.
Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. I thought you'd have been in your Trinidad and Tobago football jersey this morning.
Well, that is all set for later. And of course, we are double whammy later, because we are doing our night football as well as later.
Fantastic. So tell us all about the Roxborough Police Club Night Football League. What edition are you guys in now? Because I mean, from since I know myself, you guys have been having this league.
Yes, so this is the 28th edition of the night football competition taking place in Roxborough. It has been going on for quite a while. 28 years is a long period of time. And we are thankful for the idea that this initiative came as an initiative where it was a crime fighting, crime prevention initiative where we had a lot of break-ins and so forth in the village. And we thought it fitting that, instead of young people falling prey to crime and criminal activity, it is best that we can have them utilize their leisure time in a productive way, utilizing sports. So we chose sports 28 years ago as that initiative, and clearly it has mushroomed into a very successful initiative where we have teams from over 32 villages thus far in Tobago sending groups of persons participating. So we have had the full length of Tobagonians from all villages participating in this league competition. We do give credit to as well to the British High Commission. They were the ones who were established the lit grounds at Roxborough Police Youth Club. And quite naturally, quite recently, we had a visit again from one of the representative from the commission who came and actually saw after 28 years the light still lighting. Thank goodness and grace to Orville Delano London. He was the man who said at the end of the day this court must maintain light and be lit, and he put the initiative in place that this court continues to be maintained. We maintain it from time to time, but he was very instrumental in getting it with the British High Commission support lit for us.
So tell us about the teams that we are seen on the flyer there for the knockout finals? Is it a knockout finals only, or there's a league finals as well for tonight?
So the league finals went already. So the league finals was won by a popular team Roll Call. And tonight we are going to have the game that's within the league final, which will be 76 United and Miller Youths Football Academy. They will come up first at 8 p.m. and the finals of Roll Call and YAM, Youths Against Marijuana, they will come up at 9 o'clock. So we're going to have our awesome finals taking place on the grounds here. It has brought quite a number of spectators. I know on the last occasion there was no parking on the Roxborough Bloody Bay Road for the enthusiasm that takes place with the people coming thus far in order to support this competition.
Yeah, and in terms of 76 Unity and Miller Youths, which communities are they from?
So what we're seeing is a mixture of persons coming for the camaraderie, the team sport of football. So predominantly, you may say Miller Youths is a Argyle because Mr. Miller is from Argyle. But Miller has been a very dedicated youth advocacy towards and organizing football among young people, and he has been able to bring people from all over in order to make the Miller Youth Academy. The same thing can be said for Roll Call. Roll Call is not a Roxborough team, but we know Marcel Phillip is a man from Roxborough, is a die-hard man who scout all over Tobago to look for the best players in ensuring that the Roll Call gets on top and win the game. And they have been producing some successful winnings throughout this competition. Of course, Youths Against Marijuana is a Roxborough Police Youth Club side. And this initiative started some years ago. And I give credit to the present Chief Secretary, Mr. Augustine, myself and Mr. Augustine was instrumental in forming these Youths Against Marijuana clubs. We had one in, we formed one in Speyside. We had one in Roxborough. We had one in Goodwood. And this initiative was just in terms of the idea of we having a lot of young people who were using marijuana. And we felt that, listen, we need to put up an advocacy group against marijuana because we saw what drugs doing to our young people. And hence the reason we started these, what we call YAM clubs in school. Dr. Verlin Bob Lewis, an advocate, working hard outside there. And Miss Anne-Marie Digazor. We did some fantastic work in setting up these clubs. And brap, we got a shocking news in our life when the government endorsed the idea of decriminalization of marijuana and actually shut us down. However, we still continue at Roxborough Police Youth Club to be an advocate against marijuana with young people. And therefore, Youths Against YAM Club still exists at Roxborough Police Youth Club. So we do have our players carrying the name, carrying the branding that we are against marijuana. Marijuana is destroying our young people.
Fantastic. And what about 76 Unity? Before Akinlabi comes in there. 76 Unity.
Of course, 70, again, these are mixture of players, and I can't really say at the end of the day.
Right, understood.
It's predominantly for Pembroke or as just the players, the community activists in football. They organize a side and they are able to come up and pull the sides of football players throughout Tobago.
Fantastic.
So, Mr. Hayes, congratulations on 28 years. You know, that's an amazing feat to keep a football competition, a football tournament running for so long. And we know the amazing work that the Roxborough Police Youth Club has done over the years, over the decades, in not just in the Roxborough, not just in Tobago East, but across Tobago. But over the years of this tournament, what has the the feedback and the views of those participants, the clubs, the players? What has it been like, and how has it really impacted persons' lives in an individual sense?
Okay, so what I must say is that this competition, from our evaluation, we at the Police Youth Club found that this competition was a breeding grounds for scouting for football talents. So we'd have had plenty persons who would have come and look at the football, look at the what is taking place here, scout players, and were able to utilize them into their clubs, into their different tournaments and competition like that. We have also seen that this competition, 28 years, would have been developed in other communities. We saw communities, Charlottesville having a little village league. Everywhere else had a village league. And this was premised on the fact that Roxborough Police Youth Club has a successful night football tournament that did something for young people. It is and continue to be the only sporting activity that draws the most amount of young male in one place together. And therefore, these are gains that we felt that young people and young boys, you continue to hear about crime and criminality and antisocial behavior. Here it is, sports is doing something in a positive field for our young people, where they are able to utilize their leisure time in a productive manner, rather than to fall prey to social ills of society. And therefore, this is something that the police service has thrown its support behind. The Tobago House of Assembly have been supporting us in terms of prizes and administratively with this competition. And we are very thankful. Silver John Construction is another person who would have been there putting out their support in terms of this competition. And we are indeed thankful over the years. I cannot for 1 minute not thank our coordinator of this competition, Miss Crystal Hard-Working Bascom, better known as Bella. Bella, a community activist working member of the Police Youth Club, who spearheads this team, and with her team spirit, with her other supporters, Kanisha Toussaint, and we do have Kirby, Corey Phillips, and the host of young people who work in order to bring off this tournament night after night, and that has made it the success it is and continue to be. So, you know, all in all, we are seeing the gains. You have people like your own colleague, Sid Gray, who started playing right here on what we call Old Trafford, right on these grounds. So
what an appropriate name.
We are very, very happy, you know, that we have produced a lot of persons, not forgetting our own Jai Shepherd. Young footballer, just got a scholarship. He played all time here, a member of the Police Youth Club here in Roxborough, Lakers Sports Club here in the wider community of Roxborough, and continue to excel. Come out tonight. You've seen Jake. You will see Jai on the field. He's a member of the fraternity. We just had Moses. Moses has just took up a scholarship in the United States of America. Last Tuesday, he had to fly out to take up that scholarship. And he's a part of this team competition as well. So we are producing in the East and in Tobago by extension in football, and we are making our own way. I really want to acknowledge as well the referees. Discipline is important in football, and at times it's very difficult in order to acquire referees. So we want to encourage our young, enthusiastic persons in football to learn the game of refereeing, and of course that they can adjudicate in the game properly. Another area that we have seen that we want to work on is commentary. That commentatory aspect of football. You're talking about if we don't have Marcus, we in trouble in Tobago. If we don't have this man from our good fella from Speyside,
Ambassador.
Who the ambassador. You know, ambassador made a sterling contribution, and getting down into age now. You know, we really need to see some develop
Yes, I agree.
persons in this area of ensuring that being a good commentator to the sports, because other persons who can't look at it in person would love to hear it live.
Yes.
I know some of the things long time. I can boast to say that Cassandra Thompson Forbes, I would have really liked to see her continue in this area of sporting. Cassandra was a member of the Roxborough Police Youth Club who started out her journalistic career writing sports news after the football competition to send to Radio Tambourine in the morning, because people at that time liked to hear the name called. And Cassandra did those press release. I remember we had a fax donated from the Canadian High Commission, and she will fax that information just as it is. And she was taught by Rizel Melville, hard-working Rizel, 28 years ago, teaching people here in so there's a whole developmental phase that the Police Youth Club is going to be 35 years in November. And of course, 28 years of football is a fantastic way of doing it. The prizes are worth it. The league prize, we going at $13,000. So it's plenty money that you carry home. And of course, the knockout prize in terms of a $5,000 prize that we having. So there's a lot in it, Orphan. We're looking forward for a great spectatorship tonight at the Roxborough Police Youth grounds. We continue to thank all our supporters, all the persons who have contributed night after night coming out to make this grand event a success. And we look forward to a successful knockout finals tonight, as we are able to look at Yam versus Roll Call. What a match tonight.
That's a Roxborough derby.
That's right.
Yes. Well, Mr. Hayes, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning. I can hear the excitement in your voice and the pride that you have for this Roxborough Police Youth Club. And we want to continue to encourage you to get more people involved, more young people involved, and get them off the streets and participating in positivity. 28 years, very, very commendable of the Roxborough Police Youth Club, and I want to wish you guys all the best tonight in Roxborough. I can't be there tonight. I'm going to the Hazy Crawford Stadium as the 12th man to support our national team, but I suspect that all of East going to be at the Roxborough Police Youth Club going tonight to witness the knockout finals. Amazing stuff there, Mr. Hazel.
Thank you very much, and we look forward. Only one can lift the crown tonight. Who will take the glory? So we look forward to that tonight.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Akilabi, great stuff. I mean, it's never easy to organize community leagues because I do it, and it may look like a small league, but it's a lot of logistics and a lot of headache sometimes with some of them teams. I can't come today because
anybody that does events, no matter how small the event is, it's always difficult to organize an event. So anybody doing events, I give them props.
28 years,
that's a hard job.
Commendable.
And doing it for 28 years is amazing.
Fantastic. And before we go, Akinlabi, I want to congratulate Mr. John Pollard, cricket coach here in Tobago, appointed the national under-17 coach, and for the first time in a very long time, Trinidad and Tobago won the regional under-17 title, coached by a Tobago.
Look at that.
John Pollard. I really want to commend him on that. They would have finished second or third in the 2-day leg of it, but they won the 50 overs, which is highly commendable. And I want to commend John Pollard and, of course, the players and the management of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board on that. Also want to commend Dwayne Bravo, recently appointed ambassador of sport for Trinidad and Tobago. And he joins Darren Ganga and Hazel Crawford, who were appointed back in 2010. And it means that Dwayne Bravo would that a number of followers quite in India. I'm hoping that he can use his fame and bring influence and, of course, bring a lot of sporting relations back to Trinidad and Tobago. So congratulations there to Dwayne Bravo. Cricket continues to lead the way, But It's been a really good discussion this morning. I want to wish the Trinidad and Tobago team all the best. I'm predicting a 3-0 result against the Curaçao team at home. I was there at the last game and the energy was crazy. And I suspect tonight, and I'm hoping that they oversell the tickets in over because they couldn't find seats last time.
Okay.
They couldn't get seats last time because what we do, we don't have numbered seats in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
You get a ticket and you're inside.
And
you're inside, and that's it. You know, so guys who are going down there, be careful, ensure that you enjoy the game and support and stay out of trouble. Wonderful day again up in Lakin Lobby, but wonderful weekend. Guys, up next we have Natalie with Good Morning Tobago. Of course, don't forget to share the live,
share the live, share the live.
Tackle. Score in the goal. Need the speed for that. Need the concentration for that.
Imagine being on your last straw as a parent because you don't know what else to do with your child that is giving trouble at home. Well, the Probation Services Unit of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection hosted a 4-day program titled Thinking for Change, which was geared to help improve the change behaviors by encouraging and inspiring these kids that they can do it, to keep going, to always believe in themselves, that they are enough and they are more than capable.
We are guiding you today that once you change your thoughts, you can change your game. And essentially that's what Thinking for a Change focuses upon.
This program isn't just some boring lecture about being good. It is a powerful, real-world system that teaches you to take charge of your own life by changing the way that you think. And here's the deal. Your thoughts shape your actions.
A parent shared how thankful she was about having a program like this.
I'm very grateful for the program and for all the parents who are going through the same thing, although you might feel it's you alone. It's a lot of us, it has some of them who are willing to come forward, right? And I would encourage parents to don't give up on their children and stick with their children, support them 100%, right? And since the program, me and my daughter get very close. We wasn't agreeing. You can't tell me nothing bad about my daughter now. I love she very much.
And these participants vowed to listen to their parents going forward.
I did enjoy it. It also helped me change the way of how I think in like certain circumstances and attitude towards parents, teachers, anybody like older than me and thing, yeah.
What I gained from this program is not some misunderstood situations, and so in every situation, like, okay, somebody comes to me aggressive, not to just get back aggressive. Learn and identify the feelings of the person and them kind of thing there. And I learned how two kind of situations. It have an in-your-face situation and it have a time to think problem. And you had to learn to identify the problem to find a solution. Yes, I ain't gonna say that don't live your best life. Live your best life, but do it with the permission of your parents or guardian and just respect.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago. Casting paradise to
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear and hear back. 1,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. It's special that there is no denying. Tobago is about fire, and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you who stayed on from the morning show, it is Friday, the 5th of September. And, you know, school begins on Monday. So I know there are parents dashing across the islands of Trinidad and Tobago getting your last minute supplies. Just remember, be safe. Don't hustle too much. That may actually slow you down. So, of course, we have our news in 90 seconds. And right after that, we'll meet our first guest this morning, and I know you would like to hear what she has to say. So let's go to our news this morning in 90 seconds. Minority Leader Kelvon Morris is demanding transparency on the Sherburne-Storby Local Connector Road, citing alleged cost overruns and questionable procurement practices. Morris contrasted the current project with a previously planned $140 million dual-lane road that would have been fully funded by the central government. He questioned why the THA chose a single-lane road initially pegged at $65 million, but now allegedly far costly, and urged an investigation by the procurement regulator. The government has announced plans to decommission the 268-year-old Port of Spain prison, relocating inmates to the maximum security prison in Aruca and Carrera Island as part of a phased transition. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander said the outdated facility, long condemned as subhuman, has cost taxpayers millions in compensation for rights breaches. He pledged investment in a modern prison system focused on rehabilitation and restorative justice. The move, welcomed by the Prison Officers Association and the business community, is expected to improve conditions for inmates and officers alike. Trinidad and Tobago's men's football team kick off their CONCACAF Final Round World Cup qualifiers tonight against Curaçao at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Coach Dwight York said his squad must hit the ground running in Group B, stressing the high stakes of the campaign. York, buoyed by a strong 26-man roster, including Levi Garcia and Kelvin Molino, said competition for places is fierce. However, fans will also witness video assistant referee technology for the first time in local qualifiers, promising an international standard experience. And that was your news in 90 seconds. If you're just joining me, welcome. You are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago. I am your host, Natalie Seeley Richardson, this morning. And joining me virtually is Tennille Alonzo, and we want to welcome Tennille this morning. She is a retirement and insurance advisor and the founder of Your Goals, Your Plans. And let's welcome Tennille on before I tell you a little bit about her.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Natalie. How are you doing?
I am well. Good morning, Tennille. And I was just letting our viewers know, Tennille, that you are from the insurance industry and you focus on retirement, and you have founded, this organization, if I can call it, this big movement. I think it has become a movement, your goals, your plans. And there is this challenge that is out there, and you are encouraging people to be a part of this challenge. 500 lives in just 50 days. And of course, I want you to tell us a bit more about that campaign, because we know that you're targeting individuals, organizations, families. You're targeting everybody, because when we hear the word retirement, it really impacts all of us at some point. Sometimes I think we have to reach retirement to plan for it, but people like you will guide us through. So I want you, before we get into talking specifically about what retirement is, I want to spend a little time talking about that movement. 500 lives in just 50 days.
Yes. Well, thank you. I think you certainly would have hit the punchline there, that too many of us take too long to prepare for retirement. And you can't be prepared for retirement when you're ready to retire, right? You have to think about the reality of time. And that is why this challenge exists, because I've seen too many people who wait to plan. And many times, much of that waiting is because they don't know how to begin. All right. They feel overwhelmed, they feel unsure, and typically they push it off until very much later. And that is why I wanted to change that and launch this campaign called 500 Lives in 50 Days. It's really a challenge, but as you said, it's a movement. It's a call to action to get 500 people at minimum to take steps towards preparing for retirement, all within that focused 50-day window.
Right.
And when persons participate, the hope is that they'll have some clarity and confidence, whether they're 25, 45, or even 65. And yes, I said 65 because there are two types of retirement ages in terms of your experience in retirement. There's what I call early retirement, and there is late retirement. And many times at 65, you can see much of the 65-year-olds that we see today look like they're 55, right?
Right, yes.
They're energetic and they're doing things. And so even if you are in your early 60s, you can still be thinking about how can you prepare for your later retirement years. And by having being part of this challenge, you'll have access to tools, you'll have access to support and information that perhaps you didn't have before, and be able to be a little more confident about potentially retiring a little more ready than before. And one of the key things that I've recognized for much of us, especially in the Caribbean, about 60% of Caribbean workers, they do not know their retirement number. And I'm hopeful that by the end of this challenge that we would have persons having a lot more information about what they need in order to retire well.
Right. And let's talk about what retirement is, because our whole conversation, this movement surrounds and involves retirement. What is retirement?
Yes. Retirement is really that period of time where you leave your primary method of work and earning income to something that is more or less where you are dependent on what you have put aside for the years in your later years, in your old age period. And as I said, retirement is really not an age, however, it's a strategy. And I say it's a strategy because you can retire at any age, right? If that is your vision, you could decide, I want to retire at 50, I want to retire at 55, 65, 70, whatever it is. But it's really a strategy, because you have to think about, what is happening in the world right now and prepare financially for that. For example, rising costs, living longer, the unstable job markets, and therefore, in terms of what your strategy is, you have to be very clear that you can't afford to wait if you want to retire well. What we see now is that 1 in 3 people globally work past the official retirement age. So we do have a retirement age in the country, and typically right now it's 60, but it is going to most likely increase, and there have been talks around that.
Right.
And what we see is that 1 in 3 people globally work past whatever the official retirement age is, because they simply don't feel ready financially. And we're seeing that in the Caribbean too. I'm sure we know of retired people or persons who are supposedly in that age bracket still working. And the truth is, the years actually creep really quickly. So if you're younger and you're thinking this topic is not relevant to me, then I really am hopeful that this challenge is going to sensitize and educate, especially those who are younger and in their mid-professional period, that they really cannot afford to wait. And I'll give an example, Natalie. Let's say you are 25 years old, and yes, I said 25 years old, and you decided, I want to start preparing for retirement. A simple strategy of, let's say, saving $500 a month could actually net you a little over $1.5 or $2 million compounding by the time you're 65.
Right.
Now, if you are 45, even if you doubled that, you'll end up with less than a third of that money. So the difference here is time. And that is why this conversation is so urgent. It's really about giving yourself and your family the security and the dignity that you deserve in retirement. And that's why at the heart of the entire challenge, I'm asking the question to all those who are participating, why prepare now?
And I love the concept of looking at retirement as a strategy, because I think too often it's pegged to that age, because you hear people talk about, oh no, I'm not retiring yet, I have 3 more years, or even young persons who are just in that workspace, and they'll, if they may have a frustrating day and they say, oh, I have to take this until I am 60 years old. So it really is ingrained in us, and that's the concept we have. Retirement is pegged to that age, and the countdown is on the day you begin to work. So I really appreciate that concept of looking at retirement as a strategy, because we don't have to wait until we're 60 plus to retire.
Exactly.
And
precisely.
And when you talk about retirement as well, does it only impact that individual? How do families, communities become a part of this process?
Well, the thing is, when we think about retirement planning, most of us think only about savings. But we're talking about the entire gamut of your financial situation, right? Everything from your insurance reserves to your investments, your emergency funds, everything. Because realistically speaking, think about your vulnerable self. Most likely when you are in your older years, you may get ill, all right? Your income is fixed, typically, because you're probably not earning active income, you're earning what you have put aside, passive income, whether it is through, let's say, rental income, which is not always stable, your pensions, etc. The fact of the matter is, if you don't have proper buffers and reserves and investments and other things, just as a typical young professional would have, if you don't have all of those things in retirement, you can find yourself actually becoming poor in retirement. So one illness can wipe you out, literally.
That is
one long-term chronic illness where you may need long-term care, you may have someone having to come at the home to take care of you, could wipe you out, and it could impact your family if you are not prepared. So this is why it's a community conversation, because we tend to see many retirees actually living below their standard or being less, I wouldn't want to say a burden, but a financial concern to their younger family members. And we see, you know, for example, we have this thing called the sandwich generation. And that's where we have professionals who have young families and are taking care of older parents.
Right.
And
yes.
I often say to parents in particular, your focus in preparing for your retirement is also you caring about your children when they are young, when they are now in, you know, that stage of taking care of their own family, that you don't sabotage their future and your grandchildren's future. So it's really a holistic approach. It's also talking about things like your legacy. What do you want to leave behind for those who will come behind you, and how do you prepare? So one of the resources that I have access, that persons will have access to, is a course that I have called the Retire Ready Jumpstart Bundle. And what we discuss there is everything related to your financial management, your mindset. We also look at your estate planning,
right,
and your retirement income sources, because all of those things as topics are relevant whether you are 25, 45, 65, or 85. All of those things, because again, you know, we can only prepare. We don't have guarantees. None of us know if we would live to the ripe old age of 95. We don't know that. But the reality is, as adults, we are expected to manage our resources and the things that we've created properly. And so if you are that kind of individual, you want to not just go with the flow, live once and do everything right now without thinking about your future. If you want to be that responsible adult, then there is a strategy, there is a method, there is a way to build a structured financial presence that would not only augur well for you in the present, but it will certainly set you up for old age, should you have the gift of old age, and that peace of mind that comes with, hey, I've done this the right way. You know what I mean?
Yes, and in our society, many persons live that day-to-day routine. You know, you've heard older parents, if an adult child approaches them about that type of planning, you know, you would hear, "You ready for me to dead?" Or, you know, nothing is, you know, have you set up a will? What's your estate like? And we don't like to have these types of conversations. And then, God forbid, that person passes on. Everybody's confused. They don't know where bank accounts are. They have no access to it. And for those of you who are listening, and I know Tini will back me up, you know, because we like to protect so much that sometimes even a simple bank account that has your name on it, God forbid you pass away, nobody has access to that. That stays with the bank, you know, and the time you get to probate or do anything with that, it costs you more than what's in the account.
It's even more than just passing away. There are people who, let's for example, say they get sick, and they are in a coma, and they're in a hospital, and there's no access to the funds to assist them during that period. Because we in this country have to also recognize that we don't have certain legal frameworks in place at this time. For example, someone may have what we call a medical power of attorney. In other territories, that's a relevant thing, but in Trinidad and Tobago, it's not. We have the typical power of attorney, which means that the person must be in their right mind in order for you to have access to do business on their behalf. However, we don't have what we call a durable power of attorney, which means that if that person is ill or not incapacitated, that that your power of attorney is no longer valid when that person is in that state. So essentially putting your things, your house in order, whether you are not necessarily dead, but you're sick, you're ill, and someone has to do business on your behalf, it's important to have these mechanisms in place so that you can essentially not create stress, because that's really what it is. It's about minimizing stress and assisting the people around you to navigate the changes that we typically find every day. And so it's really about that responsible action that we have to take.
And we definitely have an aging population. And you hear very often, you know, it's so common now, you hear persons who are impacted by dementia or Alzheimer's, and of course those things come into play. I want you to talk to the viewers who may be listening, and they are close to 60, you know, at 60 working still, and just realized, I never did this. She's talking about planning. I never really thought about it. Is it too late to plan for retirement?
Yeah, I get that all the time. Tennille, it's too late for me. But I often say it's never too late to take the first step. The key really is about your strategy. It may look a little different from someone else, but it's all about just getting started. So, for example, I've had persons either in my courses or in my sessions. There's this gentleman in particular I recall who was in his 50s, and he told me, Tennille, I think I missed my chance. I'm a little too old. But what we did is that we looked at his options. We restructured his savings, for example, taking advantage of the 25% annuity tax incentive that the government offers, right? And we also reviewed his insurance. And once we had that plan in place, he felt hopeful because he had a plan. And really, that's what this challenge is about. It's about turning your fear into focus. All right. And of course, if you're younger, your advantage is time. So I would encourage anyone who is, whether you're 25 or you're 50 or 55, even 60, review what you can do today. It's not too late if you take action. And this is a free challenge. You can come on and experience it and get even a free consultation with myself. If you just want the encouragement, it's available through this challenge.
Right. And we go for a quick break, Tennille, but when we come back, I want you to speak more how we can be a part of that challenge. And I know in October, we're looking at a very special date. So viewers, we don't want you to go too far. We go for a break, and when we return, we continue this very interesting and timely conversation, if I may add, with Ms. Tennille Alonzo.
So wake up and hear my neighbor, 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
Rise and shine, Tobago. The breakfast vibes you've been waiting for is here.
When it wrong, tell you you's a big dancer.
It's time for Sun Up Tobago, the ultimate breakfast inclusive pool party that kicks off your carnival in style.
We aim to take shots. She come to take shots.
Join us on Thursday, October 23rd from 6 a.m. to 12 noon at Scarborough House, 138 Milford Road. Music pumping, breakfast sizzling, coolers flowing, and vibes unmatched. This is where sun, sea, soca, and celebration collides. Get your early bird tickets now at Pablo Supermarkets, Barcode, Lost Restaurant and Launch, Signature Cuts, IslandEtickets.com, and committee members. Don't miss the event where Tobago Carnival truly begins. Sun Up Tobago. Come for the breakfast, stay for the vibe.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Take your shot with Junior K.
Always with the introductions, as you see. And of course, we're on television. Big up to my boy Saki. We just complete. I saw that. So we didn't have a choice. We had to call it.
Good.
So, Carnival.
I say, warn them. Hey, I get to know.
Baba boy, don't run. Me God, we are the last man. Alright, you got a drink, bro? Drinking liars.
Enjoy Take Your Shot on YouTube. Like, subscribe,
and share.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying with us. You are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago, and I continue my conversation with Ms. Tennille Alonzo, and she is speaking to us about retirement. Have you been planning for your retirement? And remember, it's not just pegged to an age, but it's a strategy. So welcome back, Ms. Alonzo, and I want you to tell us, as I mentioned before going to the break, I want you to tell us how we can be a part of this challenge, this movement.
Wonderful. So it's really simple. Persons just have to join our Retire Ready HQ Facebook community. That's where all the action is happening. From there, you can register for our meet and learns, which happens at least 3 times a week. And that's where you can get into a private Zoom room with me and others, ask your questions. We talk about topical things related to retirement planning. But in that community, you can also invite your friends. And that is where we measure the impact. Because once that community is filled up with persons, we get to engage with them in different ways. And certainly you can engage there by asking questions, leaving comments, and having conversations. My real question and hope is that, we understand that this is not just an individual exercise, that it is a community effort, this question of retirement planning. And so if you're a church, you're a workplace group or a community group, you can join this challenge by being part of the Facebook community and inviting those individuals to also join in. I also have some competitions going on in the group for persons who are, engaged in the most, etc. And you want to check that out if you want to be also part of that experience. But we want this to be really about something for whole communities to get behind, because when groups get involved, the ripple effect is so much bigger. And we're talking about how we can impact not just, as I said, our own little groups, but the society in a whole. I think having these types of conversations and challenges would impact us in the long run across the board. Yes, so in terms of being part of it, the challenge started on August 30th and it runs until October the 18th. That is the 50-day period. So there's still a lot of time to get involved. And this is about preparing, as I said, for your future. It's about setting an example for your children, your colleagues, and your community.
Right. And can you just repeat where we can find that information on social media for those who really want to be a part of that movement?
So if you're on Facebook, you can just look for Retire Ready HQ. Retire Ready HQ. You can also check out yourgoalsyourplans.com. For my contact information, it's 467-9944. But certainly just searching for Retire Ready HQ should get you access to the Facebook community where you can join and we can begin the challenge together.
And for people who want to delve more, Tennille, because I know you have a book, you have your podcast, where can we find those tools as well?
Yes, so I wrote a book called Aligned for Freedom, which helps you align your money, your time, and your energy. And I do reference retirement planning a lot in the book, and that is available on Amazon. Of course, you can get access to it quickly if you go to my website, yourgoalsyourplans.com. I also started a podcast called the Retire Smart, the Uninitiated Guide, because all of us are not experts on retirement because we're not yet retired, right?
Right.
So it's a podcast to really help persons who are uninitiated about retirement to really get the real talk about the real issues that people face. And that you can find on YouTube. If you search for at Your Goals, Your Plans, you should see my channel and the podcast is there. And then I also have a Retire Ready course, which walks you step by step through how to prepare financially for retirement. And you can get that information at retireready.com. www.yourgoalsyourplans.com. Again, all of the resources will be also available in in the Facebook group. If you just want to go there, I have various channels of where you can get support. And it's really about giving people the information and also the motivation to act, because we want to retire smart, not by accident, but by design.
Excellent. And I want to thank you so much. What an interesting conversation. And these are the kind of conversations I think we need to be exposed more to, because it's something you don't hear about while you're in school, even in the workplace. There are some workplaces that will have retirement planning seminars for their employees, but generally you kind of feel you're on your own to figure this out. So thank you so much, Tennille, for sharing your knowledge with us and starting this movement. So if you want to be a part of this 500 Lives in 50 Days challenge, don't sit on it too much. I mean, every day we live, it's one day less and one day closer to that retirement, whether you pegged it to age 60 plus, or you know, when you hit 50, you said, I had enough of this. I want a certain type of life. I want to work on this. I want to work on that. It is possible, but you have to set things in place. So be sure to check that challenge out and be a part of it. And you have, of course, the lovely Miss Alonso, who will guide us as we transition and get ready for this part of our life. So thank you again, Mr. Alonso. It's a pleasure. And viewers,
it was my pleasure, Natalie. Thank you for having me as well.
You're welcome. Viewers, we go for another quick break. And when we return, I have another guest who would be sitting next to me in studio this time, Mr. Carl Alonso, as we talk about his music and what's new on the charts for him.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
The event of the century is here. AMPLIA. 100 years of excellence to honor the past and ignite the future. Saturday, September 30th at the Magdalena. The Centennial Gala, hosted by Bishop's High School Tobago. An all-inclusive evening of entertainment, culinary delights, and timeless vibes. And at midnight, raise your glass as we welcome the next 100 years. Limited early bird tickets, $750. Secure yours at islandetickets.com. An all-white affair. One night, one century, one legacy.
Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks to favor to wake up and hear me near back 1,000 people.
Shanty girl, you making me feel hungry, girl. Shanty boy, you making me lose control. Shanty boy, 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 Shanty Shanty girl, you making me feel hungry, girl. Shanty you making me lose control. Indian girl, Shalafel, for the heritage, dancing cocoa, blowing chef, having a ball. Yeah, the bamboo roll, and it hits your soul. Real and jiggy, she out of control. Shanty girl, you making me feel hungry, girl. Shanty you making me lose control. DJ play everything singing. She Ramaji, break away, Ingole, come out to play. Ending come blow, nothing she do. Winding back, not a ounce of slack. Shanty girl, you making me feel hungry, girl. Shanty you making me lose control. In a bikini, gone crazy, celebrating heritage with weed, pulling sick, sucking cane, forget your name.
All right, a little snippet there of the song Shanty being released by Mr. Carl Hector. I made him Tennille's uncle earlier and I said Carl Alonzo, but because I was calling Tennille's name all morning, but his name is Carl Hector, and I know the viewers were like, who is that she's talking about? All right, so welcome Mr. Carl Hector to the studio this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Carl Dagger Hector.
All right, you heard the whole name, Carl Dagger Hector. That's how you know him as. And of course, he is a songwriter and a singer. And this morning, we talk about your new music release, Shanty. How long have you been singing and writing songs?
Well, I always been writing, articles. That's part of my hobby.
Right.
And songs, and earlier times I used to be writing, and I've been involved with a lot of Kaisonian and even home base too.
Right.
Even in Trinidad whilst I was there too. I was involved much with Johnny King. I produced his first ever record. I've been involved, And after we tried to form a group here, and it wasn't really happening, I decided to just continue on my own. But I didn't consider myself a singer, but I like to do my work.
Right.
Because many things I write, people just have problems to really put it over.
Okay.
But the kind of person I am, I write from within. So I just had to deal from within.
Right. You know what you want to accomplish.
Exactly.
How has it been, in the music industry for you? I mean, as you said, you have to put across, you're a veteran in it, you've been in it. But in terms of switching from songwriting to actually performing your music, how was that?
Well, I don't consider myself as a performer,
Okay.
I consider myself a recording artist.
Right.
Okay. But if within village life or anything like that, a lineman, they may ask me to do something, as the case might be, I'll do it. But I don't consider myself a performer because I'm this kind of jumpy and whiny and up and down kind of person.
Yes.
So I don't consider myself a performer as such. So I just keep away from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you deal with recording your music.
Recording
so anybody who wants to hear it, and it's there.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yes.
And they could always find me there, Carl Dagger Hector on YouTube. And they could surprise themselves. They wouldn't imagine, they wouldn't believe
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this new music video, this new song, Shanti. What inspired you to come up with a song like this?
Well, what was happening, I was scrolling YouTube and I saw this Indian woman in Siperia teaching in the kitchen how to make roti, and she named her thing was Shanti.
Yes.
And she was very articulate. And I'm watching what she's doing and I started to feel hungry, and I have a penchant for Indian foods.
All right.
Indian delicacies.
Yes.
I love it. You know? So I was saying, boy, Shanti, you're making me feel hungry. And then the spirit just bring this whole thing to me.
Right.
And I just started to write the song, you know?
And that's your talent, right? It came to you.
Yeah, it came
I
to me.
noticed that the setting of the video is in Charlottesville. Why Charlottesville?
Well, when I structured the song, because you had to think to really have it happening, because I couldn't include what I was seeing at the time. So Charlottesville and the culture Indian into the heritage, you know, and she you know, I seen it from that angle that I met her in Charlottesville in the heritage.
Right.
And that was what she was really doing, and you know, we connected and that sort of something. So the whole idea came from that.
And I like the idea of the, I don't know if it was intentional, but the mixing of the cultures, because you have Shanti, of course, representing the East Indian culture traditions, juxtaposed against heritage, which is more of African nature. So I don't know, was that intentional or it just worked out like that?
No, it just flow.
Right.
It just flow. And then when the spirit come, music to me is something like that, even writing. When the spirit come, you have to use it as it come. Because sometimes you will slip away from it and you wouldn't really get it back. So that's how it came to me, you know? And I just kind of include and indulge the whole thing into the heritage, because that was the idea. That's how it came to me.
Right.
You know?
And you were able to share, make your idea become a reality.
Indeed.
And share it. How exciting is this process for you? Because you said, you know, the words came to you. You were looking at this video. You love the East Indian foods and delicacies, and this came to you. Even looking at your other songs, how are you able to have that process really come about a reality so that you can share it with us?
Well, that is part of me, really, you know. And then within my piece, which exists throughout, you know, I just really get, I just feel it, you know. And even presently, I know in the studio I have something for Carnival coming back here too.
All right.
Last year I had something I released here too.
Yes.
You know, and I kind of sing for the people in that sense. And I don't really look to gain anything, you know, because you just blessed me with a versatility, right? It's for me to do it honorable. So even money had to come out at school, which I didn't really expect,
right?
You know?
Yeah. A young person, or maybe the parent of a young person, may be looking at this interview now and they may recognize that their child has that talent. What advice do you have for that young person, even the parent looking on, who realize, you know, my child likes to write, they write poetry, they into spoken word, even maybe, you know, music. What advice do you have for people who are like that?
I think it's a natural phenomenon, because a lot of people who do poetry and these sort of things, they mightn't really have the melody, because I can't play no instrument.
Okay.
And when I go in the studio, sometimes while I'm hearing,
all right,
I just can't even hum it. So sometimes when I go in the studio, right, I just be singing my melody and thing from my ear, like the Shanti. My melody came to me.
Right.
It's an inspiration from King, you know. King David played on his harp, you know, so when I just hear it, sometime in the night and thing, according to, I might have to get up and run for my tape and all them kind of something else, it's gone.
Right.
So people now who might be doing poetry, they mightn't have the inspiration to get the melody, because that is very important. Sometimes if you don't have it, you might have to go now and deal with the producer to build a track for you, right? But when I go with my melody and I start to sing and hum and carry on into the space there, and he take a notebook and he's writing the music.
Right.
It's easy for he now, because he don't have my melody.
Yes.
And I've been working for him, a guy named Andy Davis. He's one of good guy, good guy, very good guy, and he understands what it is going on in the musical industry. And I think the institutes and things should pay more attention to him too, because he does have to help out so much people, young people, and money don't derive much from it. Because I go in the studio and I just see what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And for the viewers who usually follow your music, or maybe for the first time somebody is now hearing about Carl Hector and know that they can now find your music on YouTube, Carl Dagger Hector. What do you want to leave with them, especially coming out of this song, Shanti? When somebody listens to this, what do you want to resonate with them? What's the feeling? What's the goal of this song?
Well, as we see it here now, within the cultural aspect, it's really like a national unity.
Right.
You know? And that's what happened. Because if we go back to 1970, which plenty of people doesn't really identify with, the biggest banner was Indian and African Unite.
Right.
Biggest banner, and that was in front, and it was happening then. And today, you're definitely really seeing that kind of divisiveness, and I can't deal with that.
Right.
You know, all of us human.
True.
You know? So, again too, we could even do that. Because sometimes I went to all Ramley land thing in Trinidad too.
Yes.
You know? So I ain't have a separation within the art, within the culture, as the case might be. Sometimes I like to even listen to Indian music and instrumentation and all of that too.
Right.
Yeah, I even have a soca parang called Christmas in Barrackpore.
Right.
Christmas in Barrackpore.
Yes.
And it have a lot of tassa and thing in it. And I'm hoping to have a video with it this year too.
All right.
Very nice song.
Yes.
Very nice song. So it's when the creator bring, I just kind of exercise that kind of thing. Yeah.
And I like that your music, it's not just what people see on the surface, but a lot more is there
In
to
depth.
it. Yes,
In depth.
a lot more is there.
Yeah, even that song, Shanti, they should look at the depth of it really too. You know? Yeah. One people.
Yeah, most definitely. Sweet TNT.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we get ready to wrap up, Mr. Hector, again, you know, you've been putting your music out there. You've worked with so many other persons in the background. What's the future like for you? Where do you want to see yourself? You know, I know you talk about a new release coming up soon for Tobago's October Carnival. What else can we look forward to?
Well, as it happened, because what happened in I find too, I have so much of music out there, and I'm now thinking about putting videos to them.
All right.
Because they resonate better with the public, you know, people more attractive and everything. So even though I have new songs, I just tell my kids, if I pass, don't look for nothing, just go and pick up my library. Because I have so much at work. So much at work, and men know. People know. You know? So it's there.
Right.
So I'm trying to put videos now to
Right.
most of my contributions, you know. and
Right.
that kind of- that
Excellent.
kind of thing.
So, of course, viewers, you have a new song to listen to, Shanti, and we want to, thank Mr. Carl Hector for choosing Tobago Updates to share this music with us. And we know he's here from time to time, and we look forward to what else he's bringing to us. And you can check YouTube, Carl Dagger Hector, and check out more of his music. And we can look forward to even more videos, making the music come alive for us. And remember, it's not just what you see on the surface, but look at the videos, listen to the lyrics, and see if you can get that deeper message Mr. Hector is sending out to us. And as we wrap up, I just want to share with you, many of you in Tobago have been on that journey with me with my father, and I must share with you, some of you already know that he passed, and his funeral was this week. I just want to say thank you to all of you who would have sent encouraging words and messages to myself and my family. We really appreciate you being there for us. The medical staff at the hospital, I would have mentioned the medical social worker, everybody who played a part, the home for the aged that helped cared for him, everybody who played a part in making sure he was comfortable in the last days that he had. And I also want to say, sometimes things happen to us and we get caught up. We think it's about us. And, sometimes I share my little personal tidbits with you because I think there's always a lesson to be learned from every experience we have, whether it's from someone else or yours directly. And, last week I was stopped by the men in white and black. First time, quite interesting. And I got a ticket, my very first ticket. And I took my ticket because, yes, I was wrong. I wasn't in the right headspace because I was now seeing about the cremation papers for my father's funeral. And I was crying. But when the officer stopped me and saw my tears, he got very irate with me because he thought I was teared up to get out of a ticket. But I want to let him know that he has a job to do. And he's probably very good at his job. And I'm glad he does his job because he's making the road safer for me. But you see the aggression when you're dealing with people, not everything that happens to you is about you. And I want that dear officer know I'm glad he pulled me aside and I got my ticket, because in hindsight, I don't think I was in the right frame of mind emotionally to be driving in the first place. But I want him to know my tears was not for him, but it was for my father. And the aggression he dealt with me with was very unnecessary because he made an assumption. Very wrong. I was not crying because I wanted to get out of a ticket. You have your job to do, sir, and I really appreciate that you're doing your job because you're making the road safer for me and for everybody else. But just remember, sometimes pause a bit before you get into yourself and treat those who you are stopping to execute your job diligently with that type of aggression. All right, but do your job. You have it to do. You're being paid to do it. So all of you on the roads, be safe. When police stop you, when the license officers stop you, and they meet you with that type of aggression, you be the adult, be the mature one, and don't return the aggression, because at that point, they have all power, and it's not going to turn out nice for you. All right, so continue to share love. Remember, it is Friday. The weekend begins. Back to school Monday morning, so prepare for the hustle, mommies and daddies, teachers, more traffic on the road. We know how it is, especially settling on that first week. And, the kids are excited. Some of them are starting new schools, new preschool, new primary, new secondary school. Some of them are even off to university. Let's keep them in our prayers. And remember, you are your brother's keeper. Have a beautiful weekend. And we'll be back here next Monday for the morning show. Thank you.
Disappear. See, I'm sorry.